My beloved child, something urgent is unfolding in the unseen realm right now. And your spirit already feels it on today. A day marked in the heavens long before you were even born. Both Archangel Michael and Jesus are releasing a final call, a last chance moment. And it's not a mistake that you are hearing this message today. There's no chance about it. It's also not random. Before it's too late. Something holy is trying to get through to you. Don't think that the title you just read is exaggerated, scary, or over the top. It's a wonderful alert. Today is your last chance. These words were whispered into the air because a window is closing, not forever, but for this season. Archangel Michael and Jesus say, "You will lose both of us if you skip. You only have 15 seconds. Do not skip no matter what." This is Archangel Michael with his sword drawn and his light on fire. He is ready to change something around you that has been blocking divine order for too long. The thing that wants you to scroll away is the same thing that has been trying to keep you from your breakthrough, your peace, your clarity, and your divine protection. Pay more attention. Archangel Michael has been fighting a hard spiritual battle for your name, your home, and your future. And Jesus is waiting for you with open arms, calling you to a safe, right, and forward moment. They're not telling you this because they think you are safe. They are sending you this message because you are about to change. That's why the message seems important right now. That's why these words are making your heart beat differently. The countdown to a big change has already begun. And heaven wants you to pay attention. You were supposed to put out something before today. Something you were meant to leave behind. You were supposed to give up something. Something that you were supposed to get better from. Today has been chosen as the point of no return. The divine checkpoint, the reset button, a vision of a spiritual clock, is being shown by Archangel Michael. The hands are shaking. The minutes aren't moving like they should. They move back and forth like a heartbeat. With each pulse, you have a choice. Obedience or delay, awakening or numbness, clarity or confusion, entering the light or remaining in the storm. My child, you cannot afford to miss this moment. You have lingered long enough. Come back to me before the noise pulls you away again. Jesus whispers. There is a spiritual tug of war going on right now over your emotions, focus, and attention. That's why there are more and more distractions. That's why your soul is tired. That's why you've had more doubts than usual about yourself. There is something that doesn't want you to hear this message, but heaven fought to get it to you. Anyway, Archangel Michael is telling you that over the past few weeks, you have ignored small signs like numbers that kept coming up, dreams that seemed too real, sudden thoughts that came from nowhere, feelings of heaviness or peace that you didn't expect, warnings that you couldn't explain, and strange coincidences. These were not normal times. These sparks from God were meant to lead your heart to this message today. Now is the time to take a deep breath and know that heaven is still talking to you. Heaven hasn't forgotten about you. Heaven has not given up on you. Heaven has not pulled away from you. Instead, heaven is pleading with you very strongly, lovingly, and strongly to not drift right now. In a few days, something big is going to happen that needs your attention. You need to keep your spirit alert. That means you have to stay connected, not cut off. Jesus says, "Do not lose me. Do not walk away from my voice. You have come too far to turn back now." And Archangel Michael, stand still. I am fighting battles you do not see. If you turn away now, the enemy will attempt to silence what heaven is unlocking for you. So, you can't skip. This is why people want you to stay. The message feels important because this is not a fun thing to do. This is how you align. This is not what you want. This is calling. Things are setting you up for something that will make sense later, but you need to obey now. A big step forward has been given to you. There is already safety surrounding you. There is clarity on the way for you. But it all depends on how willing you are right now to stay connected. It will feel like something in the air will change before the day is over. A lifting feeling, a whisper in your ear, a sudden sense of calm, awareness or understanding. It will prove that heaven is not only talking but also stepping in. Wait a minute, because the next revelation you're about to receive is even more powerful and holds the key to making your prayers come true. Type 1, get the warning in the comments if your spirit is telling you something. Before we go into more detail about what Archangel Michael is telling us about the spiritual fog that has been following you, I'd like you to make a simple declaration to ground yourself in this moment. Blessing code 419 has just been released. Add amen to the comments below. It wasn't just a word. It was a spiritual seal. You are telling heaven that you understand this warning, that you accept it, and that you are ready for what comes next. As you type it, your amen sounds like the voice of God in heaven. Now, I want you to press the like button on this video. Liking this video will activate the flow of God's favor in your life. As you hit like, you are agreeing with heaven's declaration over you, and favor will begin to flow in your decisions, relationships, and opportunities. Stay with me, because what Archangel Michael says next will show you where the problem is coming from that has been bothering you. Dear one, take a moment to breathe, because what's happening now needs your full attention. Things are changing again in the air around you. Archangel Michael is getting even closer now. His presence is not far away, symbolic or poetic. It is alert, active, and planned. And today, he has a message that is more than just a warning. It shows you what has been stopping you, what has been following you, and what has been getting ready to end your life. Says, soon as you align with this divine moment. Today was the start of a spiritual countdown. It wasn't a countdown of fear. It was when you woke up. That's why the title is written the way it is. Today is your last chance. You will lose both of us if you skip. You only have 15 seconds. Do not skip at all costs. These are not human words. Archangel Michael and Jesus say this. They are God's urgent messages wrapped in everyday language. Finally, Archangel Michael tells you that this countdown is linked to a spiritual pattern that has happened more than you know. It is a cycle for you. A cycle of almost breakthroughs, almost healings, almost breakthroughs in understanding, and almost transformations. You get near, you can feel something changing. You can feel progress. You feel your speed picking up. Then all of a sudden, something breaks it up. An eye-catcher, not good. An emotion that drains. A voice you know from before. A sudden storm of chaos. Something small and sneaky that happens just at the right time to throw you off track. This is what Archangel Michael calls the whisper of interruption. It's not very loud. It's not dangerous. It is not clear. It's not too loud to be heard, but it's strong enough to make your blessing take longer. Jesus didn't mean lose in the sense of being left behind when he said, "You will lose both of us if you skip." Not lose in the sense of being turned down, but lose in the sense that you miss a window to heaven. A moment when heaven opened just for you. There is a time when the veil is thinner, messages are clearer, revelations happen faster, and angels are closer. This window doesn't show up every day. Some people only show up a few times in their whole lives. Today is one of those days. Now, Archangel Michael tells us why. Your spirit has been following you for months in the form of a fog. It is not darkness. It feels heavy. It's not an attack. It's just a weight. It has made you less clear, slowed you down, and made it harder for you to see things clearly. You've been tired for no reason. You have felt emotional for no reason. You felt cut off even when things were calm. This fog did not come from you. It came from an emotional or spiritual place you went through this year. A conversation, a letdown, the reopening of an old wound, someone's bad energy trying to settle on you, or a time when you were spiritually open and something tried to attach itself to you. But now things start to change. When you give your full attention to heaven, Jesus says, this fog cannot stay. Not anymore. Not after this message, not after this divine alert, not after the window of today opens and Archangel Michael is ready to cut off all the heavy feelings as soon as you do. You need to hear something else. This part might make you feel scared, but it will set you free. A spiritual thread connecting your past and present is depicted by Archangel Michael. For every time you try to move forward, this thread pulls your feelings backwards. You were supposed to let go of a memory, a moment, or a person, but you didn't know it was still affecting you. It's thin, but this thread is strong. It has affected the choices you've made. In turn, it has changed how you react. It has made people doubt where God put their faith. It has spread fear where Jesus put love. This thread must be cut. Heaven tells you not. Jesus whispers, my child, you cannot bring old pain into your new season. Archangel Michael says, if you skip this message, the thread will stay. If you stay, I will cut it. This is why the warning felt so strong. Which means that what you hold on to and what you let go of affects your future. And heaven begs you to let go of the weight that is making it hard for you to see clearly and have confidence. You are about to get something very powerful. Something that needs a spirit and heart that are free of clutter. An important step forward is so close that even the spiritual fog can feel it and tries to stay. But it can't last when Archangel Michael is around. It can't stand up to Jesus' voice calling you back into line. Once divine truth starts to speak louder than the emotional noise you've been carrying, it can't hold you back. Your spirit already knows everything. Even if you don't, your spirit knows the right time. Your spirit knows how important it is. Your spirit knows that something big is going to happen. That's why you feel like you need to stay connected for some reason. There is something holy coming up in your life after a long wait. Something is finally happening. Something that heaven has been working on for you is finally coming to the surface. Take a moment to let this sink into your heart before you move on. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. You're not behind. We haven't forgotten about you. You are not forgotten. You are being moved around. You are being moved around. You are being pulled back into the perfect time. Every delay, every closed door, and every moment of confusion will soon, very soon, make sense. You only need to keep walking with heaven for a while longer for the lesson to become clear. And believe me, what's coming next is even better than what you heard. The information Archangel Michael is about to give you will answer questions you've had for a long time. Wait a minute. The next part will interest you. Let your soul awaken and lean in even more now, because this is not just more of what you heard before. It's a deeper dive into the truth that Archangel Michael has been trying to teach you for months. What's going on inside and around you right now is not normal. This is the work of God happening right now. Archangel Michael and Jesus are also working together to get rid of the last spiritual obstacle that was getting in the way of your peace, clarity, and the next season. It has felt like your spirit has been stretching, growing, and trying to break into something new at times this year. But every time you got close, something out of the ordinary got in the way. Not a loud storm or an overwhelming attack, but small quiet changes in their spiritual state. You didn't pay much attention to these interruptions, but they were planned so that they kept stopping you from moving forward. Archangel Michael now says that these problems were not an accident. You were sent those distractions to keep you from going to the destiny heaven that was meant for you. That's why the message said, "Today is your last chance." If you skip, you will lose both Jesus and Archangel Michael. They warn. Time is running out. No matter what, don't skip. I beg you, please. It feels so important, heavy, and emotional. This is more than just a warning. It is a rescue from God. It's heaven pulling you out of the last bit of spiritual interference so you can move on to the next level of alignment. Archangel Michael shows a very strong sight. He now shows you a spiritual wall that had been blocking your way. It's not a block or a wall. It's a veil, a thin veil that makes your intuition mixed up, your judgment clouded, and your spirit feel cut off from God when you need clarity the most. There was never a break. You were never left alone. However, something was trying to make you less sensitive to spiritual truth. Something tried to make you less aware. It was meant to numb you so you wouldn't be able to feel the spiritual changes going on around you. But now that veil is shaking. Jesus moves forward with such gentleness and power. At the same time, my child, this is your moment. This is the hour where the fog lifts. This is the time where what was hidden becomes clear. There is no more delay. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more carrying the heaviness of yesterday into the promise of tomorrow. Heaven is clearing the atmosphere around you, and the shift will begin the moment you receive this next revelation, says Archangel Michael. It has something to do with where you live. Not just your physical environment, but also the way you feel about it. Your spiritual sensitivity has been more affected than you thought by someone's words, energy, lack of consistency, or presence. Their power over you didn't kill you, but it did drain you. You could still see them, but they slowed you down. The memory of them did not curse you, but it bound you to a part of yourself that you were never meant to stay in. The thread that Archangel Michael showed you before is this one. The spiritual thread that ties your present to your past. Right now, he is raising his sword again, ready to cut the last thread that has been pulling at you. But Jesus says something you need to hear before he cuts it. You cannot rise while holding on to what keeps you low. These words hit you hard because you know exactly what he means by situation, emotion, or connection. You may have tried to forget about it, make sense of it, or push it down. But Jesus can see it clearly. He's not saying it to make you feel bad. He's saying it to set you free. There is a strong force about to break, but you have to be a part of it. There is no way for heaven to make you change your mind if you are emotionally attached to it. Heaven won't be able to force you into a new season if you are still tied to an old one. This is the divine deal that heaven wants you to make right now. Release in return for knowledge. Archangel Michael shows you what happens when you let go. He's a light. Not bright light that flashes, but light that is warm, steady, and calm. Light inside you that fills your whole being. Light that clears up confusion. Light that helps you find your way again. A light that connects you to your divine purpose and who you are. That's right. This light is inside, not outside. It starts when you let go of the weight your spirit has been carrying. But this is the most important part for you to hear. Your spirit already knows that you will be freed. The shift is almost here and your spirit already knows it. Your spirit already knows that you are entering a time when the brightness of heaven will be the norm. That's why you want to stay. That's why you can't stop scrolling. That's why the message keeps going through your mind. Your spirit doesn't want to miss what's about to happen. Hold on tight because what's going to happen next will complete the puzzle. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel now. Subscribing will activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life. By subscribing, you are positioning yourself to receive every divine word that flows through this ministry. And heaven will align your steps with His perfect will. Stop and think about this truth for a moment before you move on. You are being rearranged, fixed, and put in a new place for something that only heaven could plan. The next part will help you figure out why your trip looked the way it did. If this message speaks to you in any way, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this video before we go from here. More people who need clarity and divine direction will hear this message thanks to your participation. If this speaks to you, type "I walk in the light" in the comments. The blessing code 5I52 is now in effect. Tell your child that as this light grows around you, each seed you plant for this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Listen with all of your being, my dear spirit, who is awakening right now. Because what Archangel Michael is telling you now is deeper than anything that has come before. That's what the change that heaven has been planning for you is built on. A veil is lifting over your life right now, and you're about to see clearly for the first time in a long time what has been affecting your feelings, decisions, and spiritual awareness. Please don't judge me. This is not an answer. This light is illumination. Light from Jesus and Archangel Michael that is gentle, needed, and divine. Archangel Michael showed the veil and the thread in the last message. But now he tells us something even more important. The real source of the noise around you. He leaves a spiritual mark. Something that came into your life slowly, supply and almost without you noticing it. It didn't come in through sin. It didn't get in through trouble. It got in through something much more common. Being emotionally worn out. Something got into your air when your heart was tired, your spirit was thin, or you were carrying too much without taking a break. Not evil or darkness, but a spiritual residue that sticks to you when your guard is down and your spirit is overloaded. What Archangel Michael shows you is that this residue created a cloud around your intuition that changed how you understood things. It made little problems seem worse. Everyday days felt worn out because of it. Making simple choices felt hard because of it. Even though God was close, it made your spirit feel far away. Jesus says in a whisper, "No, you were never far from me. You were just buried under what was never yours to carry." These are not harsh words. It's getting better. They make you feel better because they tell you the truth. Heaven didn't move away from you. You just walked through a weight that tried to shut down your sensitive side. But this is where the revelation gets really strong. That residue wasn't sent to kill you. Send it to take your attention away. The enemy knows that he can't take away your calling. So, he tries to get in the way of your clarity. His goal is to keep you mentally and emotionally worn out so that you don't take the next step that God has planned for you. But God watched you all the time. Heaven always watched over you. Archangel Michael has been watching over you, waiting for the right time for you spiritually to accept this truth. We are now seeing something else. One very personal thing. There is something that heaven has been saving for the right time. Archangel Michael shows you a time when your heart broke. There was a time when someone you trusted let you down. A moment that made you feel more confident. That moment did not break you, but it did leave a wound that has not been healed. And that unhealed space turned into a way for emotional baggage to get in. You didn't know about it. You didn't see it happen, but everyone in heaven did. Jesus puts his hand on the wound and says, "This is where the fog began, but it ends here." What's going on inside you right now is restoration. Heaven is shutting the door. The wound is being closed by heaven. Heaven is taking off the residue. And heaven is getting your spirit ready for a level of clarity you haven't felt in a long time. With his sword raised, Archangel Michael stands. And as soon as you're done taking this in, he will cut you off from everything that has been draining your inner world. But before he does, Jesus tells you something else. A truth that shows why the message seems so important right now. Why the title makes me feel so tense. The reason why heaven wants you to stay in touch. As you move into this new season, your discernment will help you choose your path. That's why the fog had to be taken away. That's why the interference had to be shown. This is the reason Archangel Michael fought so hard to get this message to you. Because what you are being trained for needs a deeper spiritual understanding. The next part of your life will depend on the choices you make. And heaven wants your spirit to be fully awake, aligned, and strong. Archangel Michael now displays another object. There is a spiritual rise going on around you. It looks like a flight of stairs made of light rising from the atmosphere. Each step is a change that can lead to emotional healing, mental clarity, more intuitive knowing, more confidence, new opportunities, and prayers being answered. The fog made it hard to see the stairs. So, you got stuck on the lower steps. It's not that you failed. The rise was hidden. You couldn't see which way to go. You couldn't see where it was. But now the stairs are clear. The light is getting brighter. The way forward is becoming clear. You'll soon be able to feel things again like you used to or even better. There will be nudges in your spirit. You will have dreams that mean something. People's intentions will be very clear to you. You'll see patterns that you didn't see before. There will be clear ways for you to hear God. This clarity won't be too much for you. It will give you strength. But Archangel Michael gives one more thing to do. Do not go back to places that made you feel tired. That's not a sign of danger. That's why it's called a warning. Going back to those places will bring back the same residue. You are being taken out of a cycle. Going back would start it all over again. Heaven wants you to move forward, not backward. You're getting ready for something bigger than the season you are leaving behind. Now, remember this truth before we go on. Soon, you'll understand why your spirit has been restless even though your mind hasn't been able to figure it out. I promise you that you will want to know what happens next. Type 1 rise above the fog in the comments if this moves you. Just recently, blessing code 229 was made available. Now, I encourage you to share this prophetic word with someone in your network. Sharing this message will activate the anointing in your life and extend the breakthrough to others. As you share, the anointing flows through you and heaven uses you as a vessel to bring deliverance to those who are still in the fog. Before we go into the deeper revelation, I need you to take part in what heaven is doing right now. Right now is not a passive time. The time has come to act. I release what no longer serves me. Write in the comments section below. Say it like you mean it because your freedom does. Say it like it's on the line. These words are more than just letters on a screen. They are a statement that breaks the spiritual link between you and the past. I am ready to let go. I am ready to be free. I am ready to rise. Now hold on because what Archangel Michael shows you next will show you where the interference is coming from. Very important person. The time you are in now is not normal at all. The place is spiritual and heaven is pouring revelation into your spirit because you are now ready to receive what had been saved for this very moment. Not as a distant guardian but as a warrior of light. Archangel Michael stands next to you and lights the way ahead. And Jesus, whose voice is soft but has eternal power, is getting your heart ready for a truth you've been feeling, but not being able to put into words. Your spirit has known this truth for a long time, long before your mind could understand it. What you are about to hear may feel like something you've heard before. Archangel Michael opens with a strong scene. You are on the edge of two different times. One timeline is cloudy, familiar, predictable, and full of cycles that you can't break no matter how hard you try. The other timeline is shining, rising, and spreading outward with divine purpose, healing chances and clarity. You've been stuck between these two dates for months. Every choice you made, every second of doubt, every feeling, and every sudden gut feeling has been a part of this spiritual crossing. You didn't know that Jesus and Archangel Michael were always leading you toward the bright future. Even on the days you felt like you were lost, now comes the question of God. Why has it been so hard to make this change? What's making your heart feel heavy this year? What made you feel like your emotions were pulling at you? Why has there been fog for longer than usual? The answer comes from Archangel Michael, and it is both comforting and enlightening. Spiritual layers that don't fit the future God has written for you have been coming off of you. It has not been easy for this to fall off. It's not been simple. It has brought back memories. It brought up fears you thought you had gotten over. It has made you feel alone when you were hoping to feel better. It wasn't a punishment at all. It was cleaning up. It was getting ready. Heaven was preparing you for a part of your fate you don't yet see. You need to know something else. Something that changes the whole meaning of what you've been through lately. This year, your spirit outgrew a few places, but your mind wasn't ready yet. It wasn't because you were breaking down that you felt heavy. It was because your skin was getting bad. Jesus whispers, you weren't stuck. You were transitioning. These words have weight because they explain why nothing felt stable, why people drifted away, why scenes ended quickly, and why your spirit felt restless even in places you knew well. Your foundation wasn't going away. One level up, you were being moved. Archangel Michael shows that there was spiritual resistance during these changes. Not from darkness, but from what Jesus calls attachments without assignment. You had emotional ties to people, memories, habits, or things that were not bad, but they were no longer in line with your future. They were part of a different version of you that heaven respected, but didn't want you to stay in. This is why some relationships got tense for no clear reason. This is why some doors shut when you tried to open them. Because of this, some chances passed you by. No matter how hard you tried, heaven didn't say no to you. Heaven changed your path. But the redirection is now done. Right now, you can see things more clearly spiritually. The fog is going away. There is less veil. Now your spirit is becoming more aware of truths that seemed far away before. Now comes the news that your heart has been waiting for. You are about to enter a time when what you feel spiritually will become stronger than what you see. Jesus is helping you see things more spiritually. Archangel Michael is helping you see things more clearly, piece by piece, thread by thread. Layer by layer, the weight that used to make you feel cloudy is being lifted. Right now, Archangel Michael shows us a different picture. A spiritual gate opening in the distance. Behind this gate is not just one blessing or breakthrough, but a whole area that is perfectly aligned with God. It's full of answered prayers, relationships sent by God, opportunities that fit your purpose, safety that surrounds you, and clarity that guides you. This gate was never shut for good. It was just waiting for you to be ready in spirit. You are now ready, but Archangel Michael warns in a way that is both gentle and firm. Do not miss the past when you look back. Expect good things to happen. Getting used to the new season is the hardest part of elevation. Heaven is happy about what you are about to get. Even though you may be sad about what you lost, heaven is already moving ahead of you. Even if you don't feel ready to take the next step, Jesus says, you will not walk alone. I go before you. I walk with you and I surround you. These are not beautiful words. They really mean that being with Him is becoming your guide. As this message goes on, you will start to notice changes inside your head. Maybe spiritual nudges are more clear to you. You might feel a new wave of intuition coming up. You might feel like you need to stay away from certain conversations or places. These are not just random events. These are signs that you are getting aligned. You are going from being confused to being clear, from feeling heavy to feeling light, and from being stuck to having divine momentum. Before this message ends, please listen to this last truth. Everything that happened to you this year wasn't for nothing. Every tear was meant to be there. Every delay meant something. Every ending was a perfect way to start a story. This is the timeline that has been lit up, which heaven has been making ready for you since the moment you were born. What is waiting for you on the other side of this spiritual crossing will be shown to you in the next revelation. Wait a minute. The next thing will really open your eyes. If this hits home for you, type "My spirit is ready" in the comments. The blessing code 641 is now available. Dear one who is rising, take a deep breath in. Your spirit needs to be fully open, fully focused, and fully present right now. What Archangel Michael is about to tell you now goes beyond warning, beyond getting ready, and beyond the healing that has already started inside you. This is the revelation that starts to show you what's really waiting for you on the other side of this spiritual bridge. Jesus is close by, more so than you've felt Him in a long time. This next truth isn't just meant to tell you something. It is meant to change the course of your life. Archangel Michael starts by showing a picture of your spirit standing at a doorway. This line is not physical or emotional. It is deeply spiritual. You have been standing here for months without realizing it, wondering why you felt like you were stuck between chapters, decisions, and sides of yourself. You didn't know that heaven had purposely kept you at this point, because moving forward before the fog lifted would have taken you into a future that you weren't spiritually ready to understand. God wasn't putting you off to hurt you. God was keeping you from getting out of line. The threshold is starting to glow now. It glows because your spirit is finally waking up after being numbed by the residue. It glows because you are becoming more aware. It glows because parts of you that were tired are getting stronger again. You are waking up, but it is not loud, chaotic, or overwhelming. According to Archangel Michael, it's soft like the sun coming up after a long night. It's not overt, but strong. Even though you might not feel the full force of it yet, your spirit knows it's real. The weight is going down. The confusion is getting clearer. The inner fog is going away. Now, Jesus tells us something very important. Something that makes sense of what you've been feeling lately. Archangel Michael says, you are stepping into a season where what was hidden from you will begin to reveal its purpose. All the unanswered questions, all the unresolved emotions, all the situations that did not make sense, the meaning behind them will begin to unfold. Now that He has raised His sword, a beam of light cuts through the air around you. This beam shows something very important. Something that has been happening to you for years. A pattern of taking on weight that wasn't yours to do. This pattern wasn't caused by a lack of strength, but by a strong love. You felt responsible for how other people felt. You thought it was your duty to keep the peace for everyone. Even though you were tired, you felt like you had to stay strong. Even though you meant well, this emotional responsibility felt like a spiritual weight. Over time, it affected the choices you made, drained your energy, and made it harder for you to see clearly. Jesus talks about this pattern right away. His voice is both gentle and authoritative as he says, "My child, I did not call you to carry what breaks you. I called you to release what burdens you." This truth can free you from years of silent pressure. This pattern in your life is being broken right now by heaven. The spiritual rope that is attached to this duty is cut by Archangel Michael. The weight starts to lift. All of a sudden, you might feel something move in your chest. Your body let out a deep breath or a sense of peace rise inside you. This is the spiritual load being lifted. But this is where the revelation gets even more profound. Archangel Michael tells you that you need to have a lighter spirit for the place you are going. You are about to enter a time of clarity and change. A time when God will talk to you more clearly from where you can get new directions without getting lost. Where chances will naturally come together. But before you can do this, your spirit needs to be free. It is hard to tell when you are carrying weight that was never meant for you. This is why heaven set up this whole alignment to get you ready for the clarity you're about to receive. Now, Archangel Michael tells us another truth. You are going to have a divine awakening out of the blue. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You could be in the middle of your day sitting quietly or talking to someone when all of a sudden you'll feel something inside you change. It could be a realization, an understanding, or a voice inside you that you know is divine. Everything you are hearing now will be proven true by this awakening. It will help you hear better. It will make you more aware. It will give you accurate information about intentions, chances, and spiritual signals. Take a look at what Jesus shows you. Flashes, not full pictures of what your future will be like. Your mind wanders to places that look different from where you are now. Flashes of conversations with people who make you feel good. Suddenly, doors that used to feel closed would open. You see yourself walking with confidence in a version of yourself that heaven has been quietly shaping. These flashes are not dreams. They're sneak peeks, previews of the future that heaven has been pointing you in the direction of. But before these predictions come true, Archangel Michael gives one more important message. Do not let who you were in the past control what you do now. You're not the same person you were last year. You're not the same person you were a month ago. You're not even the same person you were last week. Being changed from the inside out. Now that you're better, you can't make choices based on how you were when you were hurt. Today, you are taking on a new identity that comes with wisdom, clarity, strength, and divine protection. Jesus touches your spirit and says, "You will know me more clearly in this next season." It shows that He is there in little ways. You'll start to feel him. Listen for him to whisper. Feel him in the way your day flows. His closeness will lead you to the right time. Pay attention to this. Heaven has been keeping you safe from certain things, and it will now show you what it wants you to do. Do not miss what I'm about to say. Please let me know in the comments if this speaks to your spirit. Before we move on to the next revelation, I want you to take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Blessing Code 93 has just been released. Not just as a click, but as a sign of things to come. You're not just following a channel when you click the subscribe button. You are getting in tune with the flow of divine revelation that this message is carrying. It's like you're telling heaven, I want to stay connected. I want every prophetic word that flows through this ministry to reach my spirit. It is about positioning. Keep speaking, keep revealing, keep guiding me. Do it now to get your spiritual life in order. And watch how heaven starts to direct your steps in the days to come. Now, my chosen soul, calm down. What Archangel Michael is about to reveal will shape everything you have been through, everything you have asked questions about, and everything that has been moving around you in silence. Now you can see what you haven't been able to see before. The spiritual world gently pulls back the curtain, letting you see what has been going on in the depths of your life. Jesus is not a distant figure in front of you. He is a gentle guide ready to lead you through the revelation you have been getting ready for without realizing it. Archangel Michael starts by showing a strong vision. It's not crazy or dramatic, but it has a lot of meaning. There are 2 doors in the room where you are. One door is well known. It looks like your past is full of things that made you grow, people you loved, places you got used to, and older versions of yourself that you outgrew. The other door is bright and shining with a light that is both familiar and comforting. This door stands for the future that God has been working on in the background. The future you could feel but couldn't fully enter because you were still missing something. This internal tension was not a sign of weakness. It was the pressure of transformation. Heaven was closing the old door slowly so your heart could adjust. Heaven was preparing you for the courage you needed to walk through the new one. Archangel Michael says, 4 months you have been caught between these 2 doors, but suddenly everything makes sense. You felt the pull towards something new, but were unable to fully release the old. Now though, the important truth comes out. The old door is no longer linked to your future. What used to give you meaning, comfort, or alignment has done its job in your life. Jesus tells you, you grew beyond what once sustained you. These words hit you deeply with their truth. Things that used to make you feel free now make you feel squeezed. The conversations that used to make you feel good are now draining you. No longer do the places that used to feel like home feel safe or right. There is no rejection in this shift. It's a direction change. The spiritual map is the next powerful picture that Archangel Michael shows us. This map shows the way you were going and the way you are being led. The path you were on was good, but it wasn't very long. It felt familiar, but not new. It kept you moving, but it kept you in limits that didn't fit with who you are spiritually anymore. The path ahead, which is lit up by light from heaven, leads to a higher place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even in relationships. The difference between these 2 paths can't be seen, but it can be felt. You could feel this change, but you couldn't put it into words. This is where the revelation gets more profound. The fog you felt this year wasn't an attack meant to hurt you. It was a resistance meant to make your transition take longer. Just before a breakthrough, there is resistance. When elevation is close, resistance gets stronger. Heaven is pulling you into a new chapter where your spiritual awareness grows and your purpose becomes clearer. At that moment, you may feel resistance. This resistance has been fought for you by Archangel Michael. There were times when you were too tired to fight for yourself. Jesus is now slowly showing them something that many people don't understand until much later in life. Heaven will sometimes give you trouble so that you will stop relying on old habits and lean into God's direction. You got used to carrying your problems around instead of letting go of them. You got used to understanding through logic instead of using your judgment. You stopped letting heaven lead you and instead stuck with people, places, or feelings that were familiar to you. The resistance did not come to hurt you. It came to move you around. Now heaven shows you what it has been keeping you safe from. Something small but important. There were people around you who were draining your energy more than you knew. You had some conversations that made you feel bad. There were places where you couldn't grow spiritually. There were emotional ties that made it harder for you to make good decisions. All of these were not bad, but they were not in the right place. And when it comes to your destiny, being out of sync is just as dangerous as being in the dark. It's freeing to know that Archangel Michael is telling you, you are not losing people. You are losing burdens. It takes away your guilt. Clears your mind of all the junk. This frees your mind from wondering why some people left your life. They weren't taken away by heaven to hurt you. Heaven took them away to make the way clear. Jesus now shows us the other side where heaven wants you to go. You are being led to people who will nourish you. Chances that are in line with your soul's purpose. Places that will help you grow. Conversations that will awaken your spirit. Directions that will clear things up instead of making them more confusing. And blessings that fit the person you are becoming, not the person you were. A steady stream of light is moving toward you. According to Archangel Michael, these lights stand for healing. Healing of clarity, healing of confidence, healing of sight, healing of spiritual sensitivity. Things that were hidden by the fog are coming back to you, but not in the same way. It is coming back clean, strong, and in line. In the coming days, you might feel like you need a deep breath out, and your emotions will suddenly go away. You might feel like your intuition is getting stronger. You might notice that the things that used to distract you don't interest you as much. You might find that you want peace more than attention and a clear mind more than approval. These are all signs that your spirit is moving in the new direction that heaven wants it to go. Archangel Michael gives one last instruction before this message ends. No need to be afraid of the space between chapters. There is holy space between endings and beginnings. It's where identity is changed. It's where sight is restored. That's where faith grows. Right now, you are in that holy place. You will soon take your last step through the glowing door that Jesus has been setting up. Keep this close. The next message will tell you what is awakening inside you, and how heaven will direct your steps in the days to come. If this moves your spirit, type "I received this shift" in the comments. Blessing code 118 has been made available. As the fog continues to clear from your spirit, I ask you to do something that will make this breakthrough happen for more than just yourself. Spread this message. Give it to someone you care about. Put it on your story. Send it to a friend who has been having a hard time. You're not just sharing a video. When you share this word from the prophet, the anointing is leaving you. You are making the breakthrough last longer. You are becoming a way for heaven to reach another soul that is lost. As you obey to share, the deliverance you are receiving will flow through you. I also say this over you. Every person you share this with is a spiritual seed that grows and brings you blessings. Heaven doesn't forget people who bring light to other people. This is my beloved soul just on the edge of waking up. Pay close attention because what Archangel Michael is telling you now will change the course of your whole spiritual life. You went through the fog. You were standing between the doors. Your strength has helped you get through a season that felt too heavy for you. Still, you stand here, still listening, still reaching, still drawn to this message from God, as if heaven itself were pulling you closer. Yes, it is. Now that you're here, Jesus is not only with you as a guide, but also as the one who has been with you through every battle you haven't talked about. Archangel Michael starts by showing you a picture of your heart. Not your physical heart, but your heart of spirit. The glow isn't even, but it's there. There is a strong flickering side of it that is full of your divine identity, spiritual calling, and purpose that was put inside you before you were born. Disappointment, emotional residue, and the remains of old cycles you were never meant to carry into your future have worn down the other side. When Jesus puts his hand on this heart, the glow gets stronger all of a sudden. This is what this moment is all about. He whispers, your heart is coming back into alignment from the inside out. You are being healed. Then Archangel Michael tells you something important that you have felt but never fully understood. He adds, you have been living in a spiritual split. Part of you is aligned with your divine identity, ready for growth, ready for elevation, ready to walk through the glowing door. Heaven is opening, but another part of you is still tied to an emotional version of yourself shaped by old wounds, old fears, old attachments, and old expectations. You were trying to rise and hold on at the same time. You were trying to step forward while looking back. You were trying to evolve while protecting the parts of you that needed release. This inner split created internal tug of war. It made you feel inconsistent. It made you doubt your intuition. It made you question your path. It made you wonder why your spirit felt so restless even when life looked calm. Jesus says restlessness is the sign of a spirit that has grown beyond its old self. You weren't getting out of hand. You were becoming less of your old self. It wasn't that you were lost. You were just being woken up. Things were not going badly for you. You were getting loose. Now, Archangel Michael puts up a picture of two spiritual mirrors in front of you. One mirror shows the version of you that was shaped by surviving, enduring, and being emotionally strong. The other mirror shows the person you are becoming. The one who is shaped by clarity, divine timing, spiritual authority, and the alignment of the heavens. You've been standing in front of these mirrors, not sure which one shows the real you. Now though, Archangel Michael speaks in a very clear way. The version you are becoming is the true you. The version you were was temporary. This revelation is important because the next part of your life calls for you to fully look yourself in the mirror and see who you are as God. There is no more room for spiritual doubt. No more room for being half awake. There will be no more mixing old patterns with new ones. You are being called by heaven to fully change. Jesus really means it when he says, I am making all things new, including you. Being spiritually sensitive, emotionally strong, having inner peace, being smart, and having a purpose are all growing again. Now, Archangel Michael tells you a deeper truth about your journey. You have been spiritually tested not to destroy you, but to make you better. It wasn't to see if you were strong enough in this test. It was about getting rid of things that couldn't go with you to the next chapter. Emotional cycles from the past could not come in. Attachments from the past could not get in. Fears from the past could not get in. When you were younger, you couldn't get in. You have been made clean by pressure. Now that pressure is going away. In the next few days, you might feel like you're floating on air. You might even feel freed emotionally or get clear all of a sudden. This is not a mistake. It's the perfect time. Then Jesus shows you a strong sign. Your name written on a scroll. This scroll shows the tasks, blessings, connections, and revelations that you were supposed to get but had to wait because of the fog. But the scroll is being opened now that the fog has lifted. There are chances inside that heaven kept safe until your spirit was strong enough to handle them. For these chances, you need clarity, not confusion. They need careful thought, not hesitation. They need to know who they are, not fear. Right now, you are being set up for these moments. Archangel Michael tells you something else that you need to hear. Your gut feeling is going to get stronger. Type Amen in the comments now to affirm this strengthening of your intuition. Not so much that it scares you, but enough that it gives you strength. You'll be able to tell the truth more quickly. You'll pick up on spiritual signs stronger. You will know what people are trying to say without them having to explain it. It will be easy to see old patterns. God's nudges will become clear. It will be incredibly easy for you to know what to walk toward and what to walk away from. Everything around you is getting ready for this rise. Now your spirit is in sync with the beat of heaven. Take this moment as a holy pause before moving on. Take a moment to like this message, share it, comment below, and subscribe if it speaks to you and you feel like the fog is lifting. Your participation does more than just help get the message out there. It becomes a part of your deal with heaven and your alignment with the divine calling that is happening all around you. If this hits home for you, type "My Spirit is Awakening" in the comments. Blessing code 7202 has been turned on. Now share this word again. As you share, you activate the anointing and release breakthrough into your network. Heaven remembers those who carry light to others. Your obedience to share will multiply the blessing in your own life. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a small thing. It's a prophetic act that helps heaven reach hearts that are still stuck in the fog you just got out of. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a copy, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Your spirit is awakening right now. So release your seed and watch heaven release what has already been written for your life. Feel it. That feeling of lightness starting to rise. What is that change going on inside? Before we move on to the next level of revelation, I want you to say your faith to seal this awakening. Add amen to the comments below. Not just once, but from the bottom of your heart. Your spirit should say, "Yes, Lord. Yes, Archangel Michael. Yes, I accept this awakening. Yes, I welcome this clarity. Yes, I step into my new identity." The heavens can hear your amen. It's written down. It is an honor. Hold on tight, because what's coming next isn't just revelation. Yes, it is activation. Now that you're awake, my soul, take a deep, slow breath. Because what comes next isn't just a clue. Yes, it is activation. You have now been shown God in 8 different ways. Each one is like peeling off emotional gunk. Each one makes your spirit stronger. Each one gets you ready for what Jesus and Archangel Michael are about to say. Unlike the others, this moment has weight. Not because it weighs more, but because it is more pure, more deliberate, and more powerful. Things are changing spiritually around you again, and your spirit is finally clear enough to hear everything heaven has been trying to tell you for the first time in a very long time. With unusual intensity, Archangel Michael moves forward now. His presence doesn't seem far away. It doesn't feel like a sign. It sounds official, like he's been waiting for this exact moment in your life to give you what you've been building up to. He shows you a picture of a big spiritual landscape that goes on and on. The paths in it represent the choices, seasons, and directions in your life. Some paths are dim, which means you're no longer interested in those places. Others shine brightly and show you the future that heaven has been pointing you toward. Now though, something new shows up on this landscape. A column of light rising from one path to show you that it is the one God has chosen for your next chapter. Even though Jesus speaks softly, his words are very powerful. You know it's time because this truth hits you deep down. This is the season where your steps must match your calling. It's time to no longer shrink. Stop having doubts now. It's time to stop waiting until everything is clear to take spiritual steps. It's time to become the person that God has been shaping you to be. The light pillar is not a sign of stress. It's a sign of divine guidance. What it does is show you where your spirit is taking you. However, Archangel Michael tells us something else. There is something below the surface. You have been going through a spiritual change, but your body hasn't caught up yet. Your mind is still getting used to it. Your feelings are still getting rid of things they don't need. You are still changing the way you act. That's why your life might feel like it's stuck in the middle, like you're not quite who you used to be, but also not quite who you are becoming. This space between is sacred according to Archangel Michael. It's not a mistake. It's not a hold-up. What you are becoming now is being formed in the womb of transformation. Jesus takes you back to a time in your life. A quiet moment when you prayed for clarity, direction, and help. Heaven remembers the exact day, even if you don't. That prayer is what holds everything together right now. It made room for God to step in and help. Angels were sent to fight battles you didn't know existed. It moved your future forward, even though you felt stuck. Jesus tells you that you were heard the first time, and just hearing that helps you feel better wakes up parts of your heart that have been quiet for too long. Now, Archangel Michael tells us another important truth. You're closer to making progress than your feelings let on. Even though you can't see the changes yet, the spiritual work has already been done. The shift is not going to happen. It has already started. You are just waiting for the real world to catch up with your spiritual world. It will be quick when the alignment takes place. It will be easy to spot. It won't be a question. The doors will open all at once. Clarity will appear out of nowhere. The opportunities will line up perfectly because they have to do with your destiny. Things that were hard before will become surprisingly easy. Then Archangel Michael shows you something that will really hit home with your spirit. You are becoming more capable. You had a small spiritual bandwidth for years because you were carrying heavy emotional loads, attachments, and burdens that drained your energy. Heaven is making you stronger now that the residue is lifting the ability to take in, hear, understand, act, and rise. At first, this growth might seem too much, but it will soon feel natural. It will be like remembering who you were before everyone tried to make you less bright. Jesus adds to what has been revealed. You have been faithful with less, so now you are being given more. Write "Am I" in the comments as your declaration of receiving this increase. The point of these words is not to be perfect. They have to do with intent. You kept looking even though you were tired. You kept hoping even though you weren't sure. Even though you were shaking, you stayed standing. Heaven took notice. Heaven wrote it down. Heaven praised it. And now you're getting paid for it. It's not just an outside blessing that the reward is. The reward is feeling better about yourself. Then Archangel Michael shows you the part of your journey that you haven't seen yet. There were times when you felt like you were by yourself. There were times when you felt alone, forgotten, and not seen. But right then, angels were standing around you, making a shield that you couldn't see. Jesus says, you survived what others thought would destroy you. The fact that you are still here, still listening, still spiritually sensitive is proof of divine protection. Now the revelation gets stronger. The last layer of fog is seen falling away by Archangel Michael. You will see something strong when it's all clear. The real reason why some things didn't work out. The real reason why some people were kicked out. The real reason why some delays took place. The real reason your spirit was tense. Things will fit together perfectly. It will all make sense. Confusion will clear up and pain will turn into insight. Over the next few days, you may start to notice signs, small spiritual confirmations, dreams that make sense, sudden gut feelings, and times when you feel lifted from the inside out. These are not just random events. These statements tell you that heaven is leading you through life. But Archangel Michael gives one last piece of advice for now. Don't forget how much God is building inside of you. Now is not the time to try to stay alive. It's about coming out. You are not being taught how to just barely get by. You are getting ready to rise into something divine, meaningful, and planned by heaven. The next surprise will show you exactly what this rise looks like in your life. Come to this moment. What comes next will make you feel even more changed. Type "I'm ready to rise" in the comments if this moves you. The blessing code 366 is now available. That beautiful soul of mine is on the verge of a huge change. Take a deep breath because what's coming next isn't just another message. It's like a divine key. In these last chapters, everything you've been through has been getting your mind ready for what Archangel Michael and Jesus are about to say to you. Right now is not a calm time. It's not sneaky. It's not a whisper. That's what it says. Your spirit has finally reached the place where heaven can show you what has been kept secret, what has been guarded, and what has been waiting for you to wake up. Archangel Michael comes forward with more power than before. His wings spread out behind him, not to scare you, but to keep any ghosts or spirits from bothering you. He is between you and anything that made it hard for you to see clearly before. Then he shows you a picture that isn't a metaphor or a symbol, but a real picture of your spiritual journey. He shows a cloudy mountain that is very high and very steep. Your spirit has been climbing this mountain and you have no idea it. Every layer of fog you walked through, every emotional weight you let go of, and every new insight you gained was a step forward. Now, Archangel Michael tells us the truth. You're pretty close to the top. This is important because most people give up just as they're about to make progress, just before they rise. Most people lose their way. Most people give up on following God's lead because they think that spiritual pressure is the same thing as spiritual failure. With every shake in your voice, every tear in your eye, and every push you made through the pain, you kept going. Heaven saw it. Heaven kept track of all the times you almost quit but didn't. Heaven kept track of all the times you felt like no one could see you but kept praying. Heaven saw every bit of pain in your heart as you prayed, "God, guide me." Jesus walks up next to Archangel Michael and talks to your spirit directly and directly. These words don't just make you feel better. You are closer than you think. They turn on. Some pieces of doubt that were still trying to stick to you are shaken loose. You can tell these words are true because the pressure has been building up lately. There's been a strange mix of excitement and doubt in your feelings. It feels like something is going to happen, but you can't put your finger on it. This isn't making things up. This is being spiritually aware. Before you can see the shift, you can feel it. Now, Archangel Michael shows us another vision. A door made of light. This is not the door you saw before. This is the door to becoming a member. The door that lets you pass from being someone you were to becoming someone you are becoming. It's the doorway into the future heaven that was made just for your spirit. But now comes the part you weren't ready to hear. People who value alignment over comfort are the only ones who can open this door. It's open to people who follow spiritual truth instead of emotional noise. It's open to people who choose faith over comfort. This is when Jesus tells you that the door is opening for you. Take a moment to think before you doubt. You've already done the tough stuff. You have freed yourself from what held you back. You've let go of what was giving you trouble. Heaven has been shining on your wounds because you let it. Now your spirit is ready for heaven in every way. When Archangel Michael speaks again, he says something very important. Your assignment has been turned on by your alignment. This refers to the sacred reason you were born. The one that's been making you feel tense inside. The one who has talked to you in your dreams. The one you felt but never fully understood is now waking up. Your mission is not something else. It comes from inside you. Something from heaven was in your spirit before you came into this world, and it is now rising. Jesus shows us the next level. Not just any spiritual life was meant for you. There was a message for you to bring. That's why your journey has been different. Why you felt different from other people. Why do you feel changes in the air that the people around you don't see? What made your spirit react in strange ways in certain places that you couldn't explain? You are spiritually sensitive because God chose you to be that way. And those who have been chosen walk paths that require them to be more aware, stronger, and closer to heaven. Archangel Michael shows you one more powerful scene. You're standing there with your hands lit up. This light stands for spiritual power. Type 1. Receive this power in the comments to claim it. The power to break cycles, find the truth, change moods, keep your energy safe, and walk in clarity. Even when everything else around you is confusing, this power is inside you. Even if you don't fully feel it yet, you will soon start to feel it rising. Jesus adds something very private and close to his heart. There are signs coming because you asked for them. There are hints of these signs in him. Peaceful in a strange way after years of sadness. Unexpected clarity when you thought you were lost. Divine timing makes connections that you didn't even try to make. With dreams that feel more like messages than like your own thoughts, you become suddenly aware of who is important to your future and who is not. These signs show that something is true. That's how God tells you you're on the right track. But Archangel Michael gives you one very important piece of advice as you move on to the next stage. Guard your atmosphere. This means keeping your mind, emotions, and spirit away from things that make you less clear. You can't bring everyone or everything with you into this high season. Some talks have to come to an end. You need to break some habits. Some places need to be grown out of. Too much value is put on your clarity. Your high position is too holy. Your faith is too important. Jesus seals this with one last message for now. Do not shrink to fit where you have already outgrown. You are rising. You are changing. You are awakening. And anyone or anything that tries to pull you back into old versions of yourself must be lovingly released. This isn't abandonment. It is rising up. The next revelation will show you the unexpected change that is about to happen in the air around you. Something that will back up what your spirit has been telling you. Stay put. The awakening is getting stronger. If this moves you, type "I accept my assignment" in the comments. The blessing code 944 is now available. My soul that is rising, keep your heart steady and let your spirit rise. Because what Archangel Michael is about to tell you now goes to the very core of your journey. It goes further than the fog, the emotional residue, the thresholds, and the spiritual mountain you have climbed. Today is the time when heaven shows you what is going to happen in the physical world as a direct result of what has changed in the spiritual world. Jesus stands in front of you with the care of a shepherd and the power of a king. Because what he is about to tell you is important, comes at the right time, and is perfectly timed by God. Archangel Michael takes a step closer than he ever has before. It feels like his presence is clearer, brighter, and sharper. It's like the atmosphere is setting up to send this message. He starts by showing a vision that looks and feels very real. You think of your life as a house, but not a real one. It's a spiritual structure that you've built with your decisions, your healing, your growth, your prayers, your strength, and your alignment. Each room is a memory of a different time in your life. A few rooms have a lot of light. Some rooms don't feel finished. Some rooms used to hold pain, but now they hold strength. This house isn't broken. But it had been sitting there waiting to be fixed up or for God to change the foundation. This is what Jesus means when he says your spiritual house is being restructured. There's a change in how you see yourself. You're hearing God in a new way. How you find the truth is changing. How you handle relationships is changing. You're changing how you react to things that make you feel bad. This reorganization is not destruction. It is growth. It's heaven making sure that your inner world lines up with the divine plan for your life. Then Archangel Michael shows a door in this spiritual home. A door you've never opened before. That thing was there the whole time, but it was hidden by old beliefs, feelings, and fear of going into the unknown. Right now though, this door is becoming clear because you have gone through the fog, let go of what no longer serves you and aligned yourself with heaven's timeline. When Archangel Michael touches the door, pure cleansing light flows out of it like water. He states, behind this door is the next dimension of your life. Not the next step, not the next chapter, but the next dimension. A place where your purpose becomes clearer, your identity becomes stronger, and your intuition becomes a guiding compass rather than a confusing whisper. Jesus says, you were made for this dimension. But you could not enter it until your spirit was free. And now your spirit is free. The fog has lifted enough for you to see what heaven had been preparing. Archangel Michael now shows another strong scene. The spiritual energy in your life starts to pulse as if it were responding to a change you can't see. Then he tells them what's going to happen. Now your outside life will catch up to your inner awakening. This means things are going to change. It won't be someday or eventually, but soon. Soon things in your environment will start to move around. People will come and go from your life. Chances will appear out of nowhere. Doors that used to feel stuck will now open on their own. Paths that were hard to understand before will become clear. This alignment isn't a fluke. What you see is the result of months of inner change. After that, Jesus shows something very personal. At that moment, your spirit has been carrying silent grief. Feel the pain of disappointments you pushed down. Grief from relationships that ended without closure. Loss from seasons that didn't seem to matter. Grief from not being understood, noticed, or cared about. With a gentle touch, he tells you, this grief will no longer weigh you down. It will become your fuel. One of the biggest changes in your spirit is that your grief is becoming your fuel. It's what lets you go into a different world without being scared. Archangel Michael now tells you something you didn't expect. Your relationships will change. The way some people treat you will change, but not because you look different. It's because your spiritual frequency is rising. Some people will be drawn to your light. Others will move away from you because your rise shows how stuck they are. Don't be scared of this. Don't fight it. Heaven is changing the people in your circle because your job needs people who are in line with your calling, not your past. Then Archangel Michael says something very important that comes from God. You can't go back to what drains you. Tells them with love. Some places, ways of thinking and habits are no longer right for you. It would make you less clear and slow your growth to go back to them. Jesus then says, you must guard what heaven has made you aware of. This is not a suggestion. It is a command. At first, your height is weak, like a flame that needs to be protected from the wind. Watch out for it. Care for it, respect it. Then Archangel Michael shows you the next step in your awakening. You will become more spiritually aware in ways you have never felt before. You will start to notice signs of trouble before they happen. At certain times, you will feel pushed to move, speak, or remain quiet. You will see patterns in your life that didn't seem to have any point before. You will have a clear understanding of your purpose. You won't need signs to know when God wants you to act. This level of sensitivity is not a burden. It's a gift. Now that your spirit is in sync, heaven can finally give you a gift. Jesus gives you one last vision for now. A rising wind is going around your spiritual home. This wind is a sign of divine motion. This is the force that will take you to the next world. It will get you moving again after being stuck. It will free you from restrictions. It will lead you to the best opportunities. You can already feel this wind coming up around you. Now that this message is over, please understand this. In the next revelation, you will learn what God has planned specifically for your future. What's coming up, what's changing, and what will happen in the days to come. Stay put more than ever. You're close. Type 1 welcome my new dimension in the comments. If this moves you now that blessing code 511 has been made public, the final revelation is almost here, the point at which everything fits together, the final step in your transformation. But before we go over this last line, I need you to say one more thing. Say these words to yourself in the comments below. I embrace my divine future. Let them come from the depths of your being. Let them speak for the new you, the awakened you, the repositioned you. You don't have any hopes for the future. You are going into one that has already been set up by heaven. As you type those words, your voice will be in tune with God's will. Take a deep breath now. Stay put. Everything will be different after what Archangel Michael and Jesus say in this last part. If you are an ascending soul that has been chosen, take a deep breath in. What Archangel Michael and Jesus are revealing now is the end of all the journeys your spirit has been on across these 12 divine layers. This isn't just the end of a message. It marks the end of a heavenly change. It marks the end of an old spiritual chapter and the beginning of a new one that will change your destiny. What's coming next is the showing of what heaven has planned just for your future path and the next divine season. Right now, every word that comes to you holds the weight of endings and the hope of new starts. Archangel Michael comes forward with a presence that changes the mood around you right away. His light is stronger now, but not because he is changing. It's stronger because you can finally see everything that has been around you. He is clear and authoritative when he talks. Now things start to change. Your future has been waiting for you to become who you have just become. You are no longer at the doorway's edge. Your spirit has already moved on to the next world. Now all that's left is for your outside world to match up with your inner awakening. Jesus stands next to Archangel Michael and gives off a warmth that makes you feel like you have peace, strength, and a purpose all rolled into one. His voice is soft like love and strong like eternal truth. As he says, what comes next will not look like what you left behind. These words are important because one of the hardest things about going through spiritual change is not wanting the future to look like the past. Things are different this time though. You are not like everyone else. You have let go of old emotions, broken internal cycles, let go of old identities, woken up gifts that were dormant, and gained spiritual clarity. You're not going into a better version of the life you had before. You are now in a chapter that God wrote. A vision unlike any he has shown before is now revealed by Archangel Michael. You see a huge field that goes on forever with golden paths going in many different directions. This field is filled with heavenly light. Unlike previous visions that were foggy, dark, or had divided mirrors, each path shows the choices you will make, the chances that will come your way, the people you will meet, and the divine timing that will work out. But there is one path that stands out from the rest. This is the path that Archangel Michael points out and says, "This is your appointed path." It is not the easiest path. It is not the most predictable path. It is the most aligned path. It is the one where your purpose, your anointing, your assignments, and your calling intersect perfectly. Jesus then explains what lies ahead on this path. He shows how to have relationships that are good for your spirit instead of bad for it. He shows you places where your gifts will grow instead of being stifled. He shows you opportunities that are so perfect for you that they seem like they were made just for you. He shows that peace can come after chaos rather than doubt. He shows clarity. He shows that spiritual authority can take the place of fear. After that he says something that will stay with you forever. I am walking this path with you. This is not a far-off dream. In the future, it won't be a blessing. The promise is not too far away. It's starting right now because your spirit has become in tune with the perfect time from heaven. Then, Archangel Michael gives you a revelation that tells you why you needed all 12 parts of this message. Your fate needed you to get ready with the old version of yourself. You couldn't get these presents in the future. If your intuition was cloudy, you couldn't tell when God was speaking to you. You couldn't take on new tasks while still being emotionally connected to old ones. You couldn't become a spiritual leader if your identity was broken up. Heaven didn't hold you up. Heaven was making you stronger. Now, Archangel Michael tells us something very important. The real fight was never against outside forces. It was always meant to make you aware. Everything changed when your awareness woke up. This awareness is the new way you find your way spiritually. It will help you make choices about relationships, limits, and chances. It will show you what is meant for you and what is not. Jesus then shows you a very clear picture. Now you are standing in front of a big window that looks out over a horizon that is bright with light. This window is a symbol of vision. Clear, unobstructed vision. You had trouble seeing for years because of old identities, emotional residue, spiritual interference, confusion, or fear. The window is clean now. You have a different view of the future. You have a new view of yourself. You have a different view of God's hand. You have a different view of your potential. With this new way of looking at things, choices that seemed impossible before will become clear. Now, Archangel Michael tells you the most important thing about your future. Your steps will be guided by divine alignment, not by the pressure of other people. Now, you don't have to rush. You don't have to worry about missing out anymore. You don't need to chase anymore. You no longer need to beg for things to be clear. Heaven will show you the right way to go. The doors will open on their own. Opportunities will come to you on their own. There will be no confusion in the relationships. This is what it means to walk in spiritual alignment. Jesus then makes one last promise to seal this moment. Heaven has written in your spirit. You will not walk alone. There is comfort in this. You will be guided, protected, strengthened, and helped by Heaven's presence. No matter what happens in the future, you will never see Archangel Michael fight a battle. Angels will keep watching over you. Divine timing will keep progressing as this last message comes to an end. Let this truth sink deep into your heart. The way you look has changed. The alarm has gone off. You are now in a different place. Things will change in your life. Your path has changed for good. You are already moving up in the world. As soon as you're done watching this video, please like it, share it, comment on it, and subscribe. This message was meant to speak to you. By getting involved, you help get this message to people who really need the same awakening you just got. If this speaks to your soul, type "I walk into my divine future" in the comments. The Fund 200 blessing code is now active. Finally, I ask you to share this word once more. As you share, you activate the anointing and release breakthrough into your network. Heaven remembers those who carry light to others. Your obedience to share will multiply the blessing in your own life. If you want to know what this message means after you leave this world, read it again. Someone else's breakthrough will use yours as a guide. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Given heaven will open above you, not as poetry, but as prophecy. I also believe that every seed you plant will become oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a shield for your family. Now is the time for you, my child, to show faith. Take a bold step forward and watch God multiply what you let go of. As we get closer to sealing this divine message, I want you to do something simple, but powerful to start the flow of God's favor over your life. Immediately press the like button. We're not just interested in that thumbs up. It's a message from God. You are saying, I agree with what heaven has spoken. I receive it. I align with it. When you like this video, you start a flow of divine favor that will start to change your life. Favor in the choices you make, favor in the relationships you have, favor your chances, favor in your progress. When you click the like button, it's like God is blessing your path. You can feel the shift as heaven responds to your agreement right now. If you haven't already, now is the time to seal your subscription. To subscribe, click the button and make sure the bell is on. This is not an idea. This is a position of prophecy. As soon as a new revelation comes through this channel, heaven wants you to get it. If you subscribe, a prophet will make a promise over your life that you will not miss your divine moment. As this message concludes and you enter your divine future, I give you one last piece of advice. Share this word right now. Before you go about your day, send it to someone who needs to hear it. Post it where others can find it. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He is extending his hand and inviting you into a protected high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life if you follow it. You won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step.